I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be.
People need to start taking to the streets. This is a dictator.
You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Enemies of the state.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
Do something about your dad's immigration practices, you feckless.
When they go low, we kick them.
How do you resist the temptation to run up and wring her neck?
The biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized to the right.
I thought he should have punched him in the face. I said, even if you lost, he insulted your wife.
Yes.
He came down the escalator and called Mexicans rapists and murderers. He said, well, what do you think I should have done? I said, I think you should have punched him in the face and then gotten out of the race. You would have been a hero.
I'd like to punch him in the face. I said if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
Punch some people in the face!
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
Look as his character is stabbed to death.
Where is John Wilkes Booth when you need him?
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
A Missouri state senator is under investigation by the Secret Service after saying she hopes President Trump is assassinated.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
And sadly, the domestic enemies to our voting system and our honoring our Constitution are right at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
They're not going to stop before Election Day in November, and they're not going to stop after Election Day. And that should be, everyone should take note of that on both levels, that this isn't, they're not going to let up, and they should not.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. You're looking at the best conservative voices out there. All right, yeah. The best conservative voices that are family. You know, we're family unit, and we love when y'all are with us. Okay, so with that said, I'll pay y'all for not stopping me from saying that and stuff like that, but. Okay, we got a lot to talk about in a short time to do it. I want to welcome everybody watching on Facebook, RT, and our international audience that they bring us. Thank you, RT, so much. Periscope, Cloud Hub, Parler, and everybody else that's watching here, and those that are watching on our app. That's right, you can watch the show on our app. It's free. Let me introduce my co-host to you. If this is your first time watching it, I'm a first-time watch, and I'm first-time caller, long-time viewer. Miss Leah Bella, Miss Leah Blue Eyes Bella. What's up, Lee?
Hey, what's up? Make sure you're sharing the show. Click that button, share, and also shout out Trump Train Magma 2020 watch party that's going on. They're an awesome group, so thank you for watching.
Thank you, Trump Train. Thank you. Make sure that you are sharing the show. Thank you so much. Mr. Brian. What's going
on?
Okay.
Be brave. Say something. Speak out. You see ballots walking around or walking away, man. You stop them from running. Gotta do something.
You know what? We there is a push by the media and the Democrats right now. And they keep talking about how President Trump is not going to transition peacefully. We kind of touched on that a little bit last week, but if you had not seen the video, I'm going to show you the video. It's a real quick video. I'm going to show you the video. And honestly, I think it was one of the most stupidest questions I've ever heard in my life, but I understand why President Trump responded in the fashion that he did. Listen to this.
Win, lose, or draw in this election, will you commit here today for a peaceful transferal of power after the election? And there has been rioting in Louisville. There's been rioting in many cities across this country, red and your so-called red and blue states. Will you commit to making sure that there is a peaceful transferal of power after the election?
Well, we're going to have to see what happens. You know that I've been complaining very strongly about the ballots, and the ballots are a disaster.
I understand that, but people are rioting. Do you commit to making sure that there's a peaceful transferal of power?
We want to get rid of the ballots, and we'll have a very peaceful. There won't be a transfer, frankly. There'll be a continuation. The ballots are out of control. You know it. And you know who knows it better than anybody else? The Democrats know it better than anybody else. Go ahead.
The second question is, will you...
Please, go ahead.
Why won't
you asked the question.
Why won't you...
I wouldn't have given him a second question. I would have been like,
no,
here to come and get this guy. If we can't have better questions than this, I mean, first off, why, Leah? Why would you even ask the president win, lose, win or draw? Win or draw? Would you transfer power peacefully?
Well, and then did you see Trump? He kind of went like this before he said it. It was like he zippered his lips almost. If you watch the clip real close, Trump does something with his hand. It's very interesting. But this reporter, to say win, lose, or draw, it doesn't even make sense. And they're already saying that he's going to lose. And I feel like they're back in 2016 again, where they feel like Joe has this on lock, and they're gonna flip out when Joe loses. Again, they're just making this up in their head again.
I had a little conversation with God on Sunday in church. I was thinking about the election, and he told me day of the election, day after, it don't matter. It don't matter. Trump can win, Trump can lose. It don't matter. They're not going to accept anything other than Biden wins. They're not going to accept it. They're going to get crazy. They're going to lose their minds. That's just how it's going to be. I don't know what else to say other than they're setting their own voters up. They're setting their own people up to absolutely explode in a fit of rage, more so than they are now, but in a fit of rage, and they're twisting their minds. We know what's real. They don't know what's real. They're blinded by their hate.
James Coleman, I guess, is on Facebook. No, James Coleman's on Facebook. It says, you're on a state-controlled network. Do you think Americans take you idiots seriously? James, look, everybody gets to say whatever they want to, I mean,
freedom of speech.
You're on a private social media network
that's controlled by Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, I mean,
and God forbid you even say a swear word on there, you're going to get kicked off, James Coleman. So you're following suit more than we are. At least we don't have talking points. Facebook makes you have talking points.
Yeah, and
you're kicked off.
Do you think people take you seriously for watching us idiots? You could be out there doing something else, can't you? Like,
just sure one of Joe Biden's secret agents, just like he had all weekend saying, let's blow this up and look at Amy Barrett. Oh my gosh, she has 7 kids. Is she into slave labor? All kinds of stuff like that. I mean, they were just going crazy over the weekend.
They were going JFK on her.
Yeah, and it just showed me really how messed up the Democrats are. I've told you this before. I have a friend on Facebook who is totally pro-Biden. She printed out last night, posted, I paid more than $750 in taxes. And I was like, if you have any idea on how taxes go, which you don't, you would understand why that has happened. So if you're not educated in taxes, you don't understand why he only paid $750. Stop asking.
If that's what he paid. They still haven't provided documents, and it's an anonymous sources, and it doesn't even matter. The biggest thing is I'd like the phone number to Donald Trump's tax account because I need a better deal than what I'm getting.
Well, I mean, and it's okay. It's okay to make a joke about it, but there's a serious issue here if it is true, because then that means somebody from the IRS leaked something,
right?
And then if that's the problem, then somebody needs to be in trouble.
I thought the courts ruled that they were allowed to open them. I think they got the attorneys and New York was allowed to open them. I don't think it was.
York.
Yeah.
Right. like New York, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now,
So I think
it was coming from that. Well, yeah, but I thought that he was still fighting in court.
no, I think he lost. I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
he
I'm
did.
hearing it. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, he lost. So they were allowed to release his tax returns. But the problem is, it's not just a good tax attorney. He donates a lot of money. You have to understand that. He has different ways of doing things where he can claim, where he can't claim. So his tax returns don't look like ours.
Right.
It's not like he made 60 grand last year and got to write off like 2 things.
Well, when you're that wealthy and you're that set up with his corporations, with the properties being owned by entities and other things, you don't personally own all that stuff. All the corporations that you're involved in owns that stuff. So however you get paid, whether it be through
right,
stock
I understand
options,
where you're saying. Right.
Yeah. I mean, there are just so many other ways that he just doesn't have cash in hand. And
Right,
there's a
and
very good possibility he could forego his personal pay now for something later on during a retirement situation.
Remember, Brian, they said for the last 10 years, Hillary said the same thing in 2016. She said, and you haven't paid much of your taxes. And he said, yep, because I followed Obama's tax law. So if you want to thank anybody for the $750 that Trump paid out, thank Obama. It's his tax laws. If anything, Trump's a smart businessman. We should all follow suit. And honestly, we could get a lot more tax breaks and pay a lot less in taxes. And in my opinion, I'll speak for myself, if I wasn't so lazy, if I actually went to a tax person and said, here, break all this down for me, do it long form, tell me what I can claim and what I can't claim. No, most of us are so busy. It's like, here, drop off our taxes, tell me what I owe, tell me what I get, and have a great day. We could be taking advantage a lot more, but we don't.
Right. And as a corporation, it's completely different than a person. As a person, you don't want X amount of credit cards. You want to keep your extended credit. You want to keep it low. You want to keep it down. As a corporation, you want the most amount of credit that you can possibly get, because the more credit you have, the more they'll give you. Headline article, Disney profits $300 million in 1 year and pays $0 in taxes. Why?
Right.
Because they had a $300 million credit limit that was outstanding. They took the $300 million in profit, paid the credit debt off, and then they owed no taxes. They went back and they borrowed the $300 million back out.
But never once have I seen a headline ever once, excuse me, that he donated all of his money from the White House every month. Nobody talks about that, though.
It'll be $3.2 million by the end of his 8 years. It'll be $3.2 million he's donated.
Do y'all hear? Do y'all still hear the echo?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Just jumping in and jumping out. But yeah, nobody wants to talk about how much he has donated. Just his donations alone would probably equal out to what he would have paid out in taxes. I mean, really.
Think about it. And not only that, but this is not illegal. Let's talk about legal and illegal. If Donald Trump did something illegal, then he'd be prosecuted for it. If he did something legally, whether you agree with the legalities of it, it's the law. He followed the law. He did what he's supposed to do, and that's what it is. You could disagree with the law. You could hate the game, but don't hate the player.
Yeah, it is what it is. Let me tell you, it didn't affect me when I heard it. I went, I don't care. This happened in 2016. I don't care. I still don't want communism. You know, I mean, that's just how it goes. And I really am so sick and tired of these bombshell reports about Trump when you've got Hunter Biden paying prostitutes. I mean, come on, give me a break. So Hunter is 10 times worse, and nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to talk about how the Hillary Clinton's being investigated now. Let's talk about the real things here.
Well, I can tell you, and hopefully I don't sound like I'm in a tunnel.
No.
Nope.
Okay. Man, Firefox sucks.
Oh yeah. Not really that long ago.
I can tell you that this shot, they've already tried to get him through a couple of times in the last week. The Amy Coney Barrett thing is number one. And now, word is coming out of Wisconsin and Michigan that they're polling. They're saying polling is saying that there shouldn't be a Supreme Court justice put on a judge put on the Supreme Court until after a new president has been sworn in.
No.
Which is poppycock. But with this news that came out yesterday, Joe Biden doesn't have a chance to win in the debates. But this right here is going to be pushed by an emotional Joe Biden on debate night. The taxes.
It's not going to work out in his favor, though.
No, it's not, because
it didn't work for Hillary.
No, he's going to blame it back on the Obama administration tax laws.
Right.
Joe Biden is the reason why Trump was able to do that.
Right. It's
He
because of
followed the laws.
But maybe they aren't thinking, but if Joe does put this out there, then that opens up Pandora's box for Trump to go after Hunter.
Right.
Yes,
Did your son pay tax on that $3.5 billion?
Yeah.
I just wanted.
Yeah, absolutely.
Asking for a friend.
And the thing is, the media can't control what Joe says tomorrow night. The media cannot control what Joe says tomorrow night.
They can go to commercial all they want to.
Yeah, and they can't control it.
Yeah, Joe, Vice President, we're getting ready to go to break. We'll be right back.
I think it's commercial free. I think it's 90 straight minutes commercial free. So they're not going to break.
No, they got to run.
I think there's a break in the middle.
Yeah, they got to run a commercial.
I heard it was nice. I don't know, you guys. Google that, because what I read, it said no break. Now maybe I misread, because I've been known to do that a few times. But
Brian on Twitter said Trump's liable to show up with paperwork. You never know what Trump will show up.
You never know.
Roll it out.
Everybody keeps saying what Trump needs to do during this election, during this debate. And I think it's important that Trump needs to talk about his record of accomplishments. I think he needs to talk about law and order, which Joe isn't doing. And he also needs to talk about how he stays true to the Constitution, and then segue that into Amy Barrett. Yeah. And I think that that's what he needs to do. And I think he's a winner if he can do those three things. Because Joe can't talk about his accomplishments. 47 years empty. Trump can talk about his accomplishments.
And you know that's coming up. You know that line right there. I've done more than 47 hours than you have in 47 years. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
But one real humdinger that I like is when Amy said, when Judge Amy said, "I love the United States and I love the United States Constitution."
I love it too.
I've seen a lot of conservatives online that are not happy about the conservative constitutional judge.
What?
Yeah.
Well, then they're mentally deranged, because you couldn't be happier with a beautiful, strong, intelligent a mother. I mean, she's got everything. She's got 7 kids, adopted 2, and go after for racism. Y'all some sick fools.
You're saying some conservatives don't want her in?
I saw that. They
what was the reasoning?
They wanted the LaGoya. They wanted LaGoya in.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion. I just thought you meant they didn't want to vote her in.
There's so much praise for her that I think amongst the politicians, there's so many politicians that are coming out and praising her so much that it's going to be almost impossible.
Yeah,
for,
I mean,
for people from Maine to not vote for her.
It is.
She got put on federal, the Fed. You know, she got put on there. So I mean, bipartisan. So I don't know what would hold her up. You know.
Well, they're petrified. They don't want to get her in before January, because they know if they're cheating for these ballots, they could, be in a lot more trouble than what they think. So they don't want her in, but she's getting in.
Right.
Oh yeah,
There's no doubt.
End of October, that'll be guaranteed 5, and then your wishy-washy Roberts, and then the 2 other men. I forget their name.
Just wanted to let you know, the presidential debate for tomorrow night, September 29th. It is 9 to 10:30. The debate's going to be 90 minutes long and have no commercial breaks. There will be 6 15-minute segments on different topics.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's all I can say is, Joe.
That's what I'm getting that report from Cairo7.com.
Did you see the interview with Joe over the weekend? I don't see how he gets through 90 minutes. He can barely
doesn't.
get through 5. Not only that, but weren't we talking about the medication he's on now? They're saying that the side effect is incontinence.
Well,
How do you
that's
stay
why we are
hydrated?
gonna. I'll tell you, Brian.
and not
That's
pee
why
yourself?
That's why we're gonna be live tomorrow, starting at 7 p.m.
Right.
Because we are gonna watch this train wreck together. So make sure you are here starting at 7 p.m. We're gonna take phone calls. We're gonna get our popcorn. If you're doing shots every time Joe says, "Come on, man," then get your vodka ready. But we are gonna be here with you. We're gonna watch every second of it. We're gonna fact check. We're gonna do all kinds of fun things. So make sure you're here for it, everybody.
Do any of you have a bell?
I actually do somewhere.
Yeah, if you have one of those ding, I'll see if I can get a
Why you do it on your phone?
audio thing. Bing, so.
Yeah, I'll find something fun.
But yeah, tomorrow night we're going to be broadcasting on everything you see right here. We're going to be broadcasting on. So again, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
I can even turn it up.
The first presidential debate watch party for this season, and we're going. And I got the wrong picture.
We have Brenda Joe who says, "I love drinking games and debates." Guy Kimball said, "I'm making popcorn, and I don't even like popcorn." So Juanita says she's going to be here, so make sure you guys are here for that. And he better come out, and I'm talking Joe. He better come out amazing, because remember, 40% of September he has put a lid on it. He has put a lid on it 40% of September, because he was saying he was preparing for the debates. So he better come out like unbelievable to be able to be in that basement for that long saying he's preparing for the debates. Am I right?
Yeah. I mean, now going back to Amy Coney, I was shocked and I was kind of angry because, yeah, I know everybody has their opinion. I know, but if you are conservative and you see somebody that, she even said that she makes decisions on the law that her decisions are based on the law. She doesn't interpret.
No,
that's basically what she was saying. That's what you want.
You want a constitutionalist. You want somebody. Yeah, absolutely. Letter of the law.
Yeah, and she look at her record with everything. It's spotless. A wonderful person in general. And you know what? She has a good sense of humor. Did you notice that? She made jokes about them having homeschooling during her speech. And it's nice to see somebody with a good sense of humor. Honestly, it is. When I look at a person who's going to be up there, I want to see the whole package. And she was wonderful. And like you said, I loved when she said, "I love the Constitution and I love the United States." And I thought, oh my gosh, the Dems are probably just like burning when they heard that.
Yeah, they were burning so much that they started saying racial things about her 2 children adopted from Haiti. And that's what white supremacists do. They pick up some white kids somewhere to
and I thought, how
show
dare
off.
you?
What?
How dare you?
Y'all some sick fools. And that's where racism absolutely comes from the left, because it's you all that keep screaming racist, racist, racist.
Well, was it someone from The View who said, I don't know how she's going to be able to handle this with 7 kids?
Vanity Fair.
Okay. And I thought, you know what? You piece of crap.
Yeah, they always talk about, I am woman, hear me roar.
Right.
That we are the woman this and woman that. Okay, well,
let her roar.
When Republicans put up a woman, y'all tear down. You bash her up. You try to destroy her reputation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do. She was number 1 in her class. She's raising 7 kids. Her littlest boy has Down syndrome. She's working hard, but she's been doing it. Why do you think Trump picked her? She's been impressive since day one. So don't stop this woman. You can't stop her roar. You can't.
Right. Trump nominated her to the circuit court. And from there, back in 2017, and from there, she's just been an absolute rising star for this country, for America, for the babies and the children. Remember Pelosi screaming, "What about the children?" Well, this woman's going to help take care of those children and keep you guys from murdering them.
Yeah.
There have been a few times that I have not been on board with some of the things that President Trump does, and I've had some questions. And the response that I get from a whole lot of, from some people online on social media is like, trust the plan. Well, guess what? Now I'm throwing that back in y'all's face. Trust the plan. President Trump's, the way that he brought her out, he sounded like he did his homework. And he sounded like he checked it twice. Yeah. So when it deals with bringing a constitutionalist and a female on the court, I'm sure that he's gone up and down, around the side, and back and front to know that he's making the right decision on this young lady. Honestly, I really thought she was going to get it before Kavanaugh. I really thought that she was going to, back then. But I was shocked. I was like, whoa, he kind of shocked me on that one. But I mean, if he was looking into the long picture, he was looking at the long game,
right?
And if there's one thing that we do know, the Democrats put themselves in this position, and I don't feel sorry for him, because Ruth Bader Ginsburg had a chance
to retire,
and she said no. She said no. She liked where she was.
And did you see all the hate from the Democrats when she died? It was F, no, to hell with you, burn in hell, RGB. See, that proves that you guys are so wrong because of your hate. You're blinded. You're blinded by your absolute, utter hate and contempt for what's good and what's right. Don't be hating RGB because she died. Look at an opportunity to get, another person in that will be a constitutionalist, not someone who rewrites law or redefines terminology, like saying that marriage is more than just a man and a woman. You're redefining words now as a judge.
And it cracked me up today. Donna Bazile came out with a straight face and said the Democrat Party would have never done this if we had a president in office. It lied straight through her teeth today. And I thought, you know what? If I ever see you in person too, we are going to have a nice verbal battle, because that woman, she is such a good liar. Yeah. No, the Democrats would never do this.
That's beyond lie. We've got tape. Yeah. We've got all on tape just a couple of years ago saying hashtag, that's something else too. I've been trying to put this out more often on my tweets. Hashtag do your job. We need to bring that back, because y'all started that. You Democrats started hashtag do your job.
And then, go ahead.
Real quick, President Trump had to defend Amy in a press conference. I think the press conference was on Sunday.
We have noticed some comments made in the media about my incredibly qualified nominee, Amy. The New York Times said her religion is not consistent with American values. She's Catholic. It covers a lot of people. It's a very disgraceful thing to say. Some of the comedians, I don't think they're comedians, because comedians are supposed to be funny. They're not funny, at all. They're nasty, they're mean, and think they're funny. And someday, hopefully it's in 5 years, but someday when I'm not here, they're going to be off television, because their ratings, which aren't very good anyway, but their ratings are going to go down like you've never seen before. That includes a lot of others also. In fact, I'm sort of waiting for the New York Times and the Washington Post, and ABC, CBS, NBC, CNN, MSDNC. I'm waiting for them to endorse me, because if they don't, they're going to drop with a thud. It was supposed to have happened long ago, and then we won a race, and it was a great victory, and I think we've never had a more energized base. I don't think so. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. The rallies that we're having are incredible. We call them protests. They're friendly protests. We don't want to call them rallies, but the friendly protest rallies have been incredible. People, I don't think anybody's ever seen anything like it. And this is still long before an election. This isn't like the evening before. These are long before an election. The incredible crowd we had in Pennsylvania and Virginia, in every state, no matter where, North Carolina, Florida, no matter where we go, we're having crowds like nobody. I don't think anybody's ever gotten before, ever, not even close. There's a level of enthusiasm in Iowa today with the tractors, thousands of tractors, and different states, the boats, thousands and thousands of voters for Trump, tractors for Trump, farmers.
Sorry, Mr. President. He also said later in an interview, I don't know whether it was this morning or whatnot, but Obama left a lot of courts without judges.
He did. I was actually shocked by that.
Yeah.
Because weren't you trying to fundamentally transform America?
Right.
No, he wasn't. He was trying to turn it into an Islam country. So less judges mean less control. Okay, let's talk there.
Fundamental transformation.
Obama knew exactly what he was doing. He was working on the inside. He was a terrorist on the inside. He didn't want judges because that means America would be more together as one and we could make better choices. He didn't want better choices. He wanted to leave it in array. Look how he left the military. Almost minute, nothing. There was no military. He gave our money to Iraq. This is how he wanted to leave the country. And he was hoping that Hillary would get in and then follow suit with him. So that way they can just from the inside out.
Right, they sure did.
Sorry, but that's just how it is.
No, you're right. Trump was talking about Catholics. That's almost about 50 million people in America. 20%, according to the Google, 20% of Americans claim to be Catholic. That's millions of people. And then Christians, don't forget us Christians. There's different denominations and whatnot. We don't hate the Catholics. We know what they are and what it's all about. But the bottom line is that we know that this woman is a God-fearing individual. Mm-hmm. So us Christians are going to stand behind her.
Yeah.
So now you got another handful of million people. So you're offending less than just under 100 million Americans.
So then how vain is The Rock to come out in a spandex V-neck? I mean, who comes out in a spandex V-neck and is like, I'm going to support Biden and Harris? Like, how cold do you think you are that you're going to try to trump Trump and his announcement to come out and say that you're going to support Biden and Harris? No one cares. You're not The Rock. You're a kidney stone. That's what I called him. He's a kidney stone. So if you
want the answer, the only other person that'd do that'd be T.O. Terrell Owens.
I mean, it's just, who does that? When I saw his outfit, I was like, you can't even take this man seriously.
The Rock came out looking swole.
They did.
I mean,
pumped. He just got done pumping iron.
But he had on a V-neck spandex shirt. As a woman, I just laughed. I just thought he just looked like a sissy boy. I know his muscles looked big, but he had on a V-neck spandex shirt.
It's the metrosexual look.
If he cared anything about the United States, he would have had on red, white, and
I haven't
blue.
heard that
Honestly.
in a long time.
It's been a minute. That metrosexual look.
I'm just saying, I never found him attractive to begin with. Honestly, I didn't. No. I never did like him.
The only reason, look, I liked him when he was wrestling. I just got tired of seeing him in every goddamn movie.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Every movie, man. I was like,
yeah, it's bad.
Gregory Peck, he's not.
No.
I mean, Humphrey Bogart, he's not.
No.
So
somebody said Dwayne the Swamp.
Freaking movie.
I like that. Dwayne the Swamp. Instead of Drain the Swamp, Dwayne the Swamp. That's what Connor Jean said. That's actually really good.
Yeah. Do you smell what The Rock
But
is
I mean,
putting?
how vain do you, and don't you feel like that's, I can't stand how actors and actresses use their power to try to convince you to vote for who they're voting for. Like, you don't have a mind of your own. You're not smart enough. LeBron James does that all the time to all of his viewers and fans. You're not smart enough to think for yourself, so just vote for whoever I'm voting for.
Right. And to trust Hollywood, not only that, but he even said that he consulted Joe and Camilla. And then they had a love fest connection there, the three of them. And what was sad is that he never reached out to Trump or Pence. Not one single time ever. And there is a great documentary out that I watched this weekend with the wife and the kids called Out of the Shadows. Out of Shadows. And it exposes the evils that is Hollywood, the pedophilia, just their agenda, everything Hollywood, and how things are playing out in politics today. And this is what The Rock is all about. Just one big sicko.
Well, and like I said, for him to come out on the weekend that Trump's doing all this, it felt like you're not as cool as you think you are.
No.
You're not.
Didn't Trump do a couple more rallies? Did we have a couple more rallies this weekend?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they were packed. They were jam-packed.
The one The one in Pennsylvania looked like people were wearing their masks too.
They probably were because Tom Wolf
Wolf.
is evil.
Well, you got Mike DeWine over here arresting women and children. You get it? I know you say she resisted arrest. However,
we had this conversation on Censored TV on Friday night. It was a fun conversation if you've missed it.
Dr.
It was actually really fun.
Dr. Fauci at the ball game had his mask down over his chin.
And he didn't get tased.
No. That's right. They
no, but wait a minute. Hold on. But he had a mask though.
No,
the other one
didn't have a mask. It's on his chin.
But he had one.
That doesn't matter. It wasn't on. That was the point.
Plus, he was with two people and nobody was around him.
Nobody was around that girl.
No one was around that girl. No, she was by herself sitting.
Yes, she was by herself.
So really, technically, Fauci should have been tased.
Okay, but I bet you wouldn't have resisted arrest.
Everybody say Fauci should have been tased. It feels good to say that.
Don't tase me, bro. Don't tase me.
You know what's sad though? When they tased her because they had metal
did he get it?
Bleachers? No, a child got it. Like three.
See, look.
Oh no!
Mm-hmm.
Oh no! I was laughing because the cop got it.
She shouldn't have resisted because if that was in the hood,
she shouldn't have been tased.
If that was in the hood, it would have been on YouTube.
It would have been guns.
It would have been on the ID channel.
Now that is going to be on the ID channel.
That will be.
That one's going to be on the ID channel.
That white girl dragging around, and how she died later when we come back.
Yeah, on the ID channel. You know what? I was telling my son yesterday after I was taking the brisket off.
Ooh,
yummy.
That I have stopped watching TV over the last few weeks, and I've been listening to radio a little bit. And let me tell you something: listen to the radio is dangerous.
I know,
very dangerous.
I don't do it anymore. I literally drive about 100 to 150 miles a day.
Yeah,
no radio. I sit there in silence.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I do.
I listen to the radio that doesn't have commercials. They just play music constantly, and then you don't have to hear anything.
Yeah.
Or podcasts. I'll listen to that don't have to do with politics, but I'll listen to certain things.
Nigel Hughes says, "Do you realize this is being broadcasted by Russian TV? Doesn't that tell you anything?"
Do you realize that Russian TV is more true news than CNN, MSNBC, and Fox News put together? I've done my research. Do you realize that, Nigel?
They aren't giving us talking points, Nigel. They're not giving us talking points here on the show. We're able to say whatever we want.
Whatever we want.
Yeah. We can call out Mitch McConnell and the turtleness that he is. We can say anything that we want to, family-wise, and even they aren't stopping us from being eating chicken and stuff. But they let us be us.
Right,
Nigel,
unlike Zuckerberg
Nigel, go turn on the Chinese Communist Party television show that you want to watch, and then you'll be happy there.
Hello, my name is Nigel.
He just sounds so studious, like he's just gonna follow the rules.
Yeah, Nigel Bathwater the 14th.
Poor Nigel. Nigel.
Well, you jumped in the ring, buddy. You got it. Good Lord, you got it.
Like,
woo.
Well, I say, my dear chap, let's go eat some biscuits.
My next dog's going to be named Nigel. Come on, Nigel. Nigel Hughes. Come over here and eat your dog food, Nigel.
Nigel probably likes watching his representative with the panty biscuit.
Work on this subject, not part of this package, but part of preserving our democracy. With that, I'm pleased to yield to the distinguished chairwoman.
That is your elected officials. That is your Democrat Party crapping themselves on live TV and trying to skate away.
He was bouncing. He was trying to juggle it so none of it fell out. He was trying to keep it right in the middle so it wouldn't fall out.
How about that, Nigel? Nigel Bathwater the 14th.
Oh, jeez. Unbelievable. Your elected officials.
Get off the stage, Nigel.
So we thank RT for their support of the show.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate that. They help us get out internationally.
I'll tell you what, when I do my research, I actually go to them and take a look because they speak more truth than half of the news media out there, like CNN, MSNBC, and that's honest. They're very truthful. So impressive. 2 thumbs up.
When I talked to them a couple of months ago, and believe me, we talked, and I had already did my homework, but when we talked, they were like, we like what you do. We like what you do. And, we want to, well, I asked them, as a matter of fact, because a lot.
I was removing hair from my lip.
No. I mean, I was going to say, I
thought you were thinking I said be quiet.
But
no.
A lot of these so-called conservative like networks have their cliques and they don't let nobody else play.
Right.
So read what you want to into that. They don't let anybody else play. Okay.
Speaking about not letting anybody else play, ballot harvesting. Ilhan, how do you say her name? Ilhan.
Ilhan Omar.
Bad news there.
Her head campaign guy is running the harvesting of ballots. There's 2 three giant apartment towers in Minnesota, and it's all old people there. They literally go through those towers, knock on the door, give me your ballot. They don't pay them. They don't nothing. They rough them up if they got to, and they get all the ballots from all 3 towers. The young ones, the mothers, and some of the young youths, if you will, that are able to vote or get ballots, they usually pay them off some kind of money, get the ballots. And there's video footage of the guys bragging about it and talking about the hustle. This is what you got to do to make your money. This is the hustle. And so apparently there's an investigation going on locally. I think it should be federally.
I agree.
Locally.
Yeah.
And Trump tweeted out, Trump's already seen the documentary.
Yeah, he did.
So.
And let me tell you something. If Omar gets caught with any of this, she best be thanking God, not Allah or whoever. She best be thanking God that she's in this country. Because if she would have been in her country, she'd have got her fingers chopped off.
Oh, good God.
Yeah, they
right?
They don't play that.
Yet she wants to change it into the country that she fled.
Yeah.
Which makes no sense. So she's lucky she's here.
Right. And we've been saying that for a long time. It's like people come over and they do the naturalization. Yeah, I believe in the Constitution. Oh, yeah, Abraham Lincoln was and then when you get there, now we got to change it to the oppressed country that we just left.
All right. How about marrying your brother to get him papers?
I would never do it.
Is that really real?
You wouldn't.
I mean, I don't really talk about it that much because I don't know for sure. But if I were to find out that she did it, I'd be talking about it I would be leading with it for about a year.
Everything that I have seen.
Because I think it's sick.
Everything that I've seen, I'm like 99%. All the documents are there. Unless somebody's forging documents. Other than that, it's proof she married her brother. He got the papers. She then unmarried him and got married to this new guy. And they're showing that it was at the time when she was running her campaign and she used campaign funds to divorce her brother. I'm just saying.
And now, and then her new husband, she was raising money. You remember when everybody was attacking her and stuff, and she started raising money off those attacks. And I don't know. Again, now let's go to common sense. I understand that. Oh yeah, well, I mean, if Glenn Beck covered it, I guess it happened.
No, come on now.
Yeah.
Take that with a grain of salt.
Just what I mean with her husband. She gave money that she raised off of people attacking her. She gave it to her husband.
Yeah.
Her husband. And I mean, I don't care. I don't care if he was a white dude or whatnot, but her new husband, the one that she just got married to, she gave him like 6 figures.
Wow.
6 figures. And it's like, okay, well, I mean, we know there's something going on up there in Muslim soda. So
there is.
It's just something going on up there.
What's that place where Mall of America, the largest mall in America up there, where that Muslim took that white kid, picked him up, threw him down 3 or 4 stories?
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
What do you do wrong?
The little white boy was just sitting there on the floor by the railing. The Muslim walked up, picked him, and threw him over.
It's really sad that I have to plan my vacations. When I do, I look what city and state I'm going to see if the governor and mayor are Republican or Democrat, because I refuse to go to a Democrat city or state now, because I'm just too afraid of these weird things happening like that because they don't care. Isn't that sad?
Right. No, I agree.
If you are just joining or you did not see, just make sure that you are here tomorrow night. Whatever you do, make sure you're here tomorrow night. So
7 p.m.
We'll be starting at 7 p.m. We're broadcasting on all of the channels.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we're gonna have the screen. We're gonna be watching it, and we're gonna give our American on the ground type review.
Right. It's not going to be this boring review like you hear on the mainstream media where they come out and they read talking points. We're actually going to call out what we see. We're going to laugh when we see something funny. We're going to be serious when we see something interesting. So we're going to be there with you emotionally. That's what's going to be the fun part about it.
Yeah. And your comments are going to be available. So I bet you those are going to be funny.
Oh yeah.
Your comments during the event is going to be available. So that's going to be I mean, I can't wait to hear Brian laughing about it.
I don't know. I'm trying to see how this plays out. Like I go over and over and over in my mind. I'm like, how is this going to play out? Just to kind of get myself ready. And I'll tell you, if it absolutely implodes, like the worst of the worst happen, okay, awesome. Maybe they replace Joe. But if it just is all right, wah, 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 and Joe lives through it, and Trump shows that he is the man that he is, I don't know. How many people do you sway? Do you sway many people, or is everybody's watching the debates? I mean, pretty much it's a cheerleader, right?
It's almost like there's a fight down at the end of the road.
Pay-per-view. It's like pay-per-view. It's honestly the newest pay-per-view. If they could charge pay-per-view, they would make a ton of money, because they really should make it a pay-per-view, because everybody's going to be tuning in.
Okay, right. Everybody keeps saying earpiece, earpiece, earpiece. Okay, hold on.
No.
If Joe has an earpiece, I am okay with that, because that will screw him up with him talking to him. It will not end well if he's got an earpiece.
Why not?
We saw what happened this weekend when he was interviewing with that reporter. She had to correct him.
Yeah, but did it hurt him?
What do you mean?
I thought it made him look like a fool.
Okay, but we are conservative leaning right people. So yeah, to us it means it looked like a fool. But did it hurt him?
I think that if you add up all of his gaffes and everything that he's done, yes, it's hurt him. If you add them up all together.
Not anymore.
I don't.
Did you see what?
You ain't black. You don't think that hurt him?
No.
Hold on, was it Biden's
yes,
wife?
it did. Yes, it did.
Interview Biden's wife. She said she was asked about the gaffes. Nope. You can't even bring that up anymore. Not after Donald Trump. And Donald Trump said, you can't even talk about my husband's gaffes ever again.
Yes.
This is how I know you ain't black hurt him, because he actually came out and backstepped it and explained why he did it and pretty much apologized. That was bad for him.
No,
that hurt him.
I don't think it hurt him. I think it scared him because
it hurt him.
Because the people on the right cut it out and used that on social media. So his campaign was like, okay, well, if they're gonna cut that out like that, then we need to address that. So then that's when he came out. Because the reason I don't think it hurt him is because he said some other stuff about black children feeling up on his leg and stuff and all that. And yeah, it didn't hurt him.
Corn Pop is bad dude.
But that was before.
But if you add it all up, though, you said if you add it all up.
Right, but then I said on one instance, I think that hurt him the most. On top of adding it all up, I do. I think that came back to bite him.
If you go to some of these boards, they know Joe is dumb as
right,
and they're still voting for him.
No, I mean, it doesn't look like they're voting for anybody.
Well, if you go back through Joe's history, because as we know, hindsight's 50-50, in his 180 years in the Senate, and you just document everything that he's done in the last 180 years, and I'm just saying.
180.
I guess no one's voting for Joe. They're just voting against Trump. Let's just call it how it is. No one's voting for Joe.
Yeah. MAGA Weather says, I'm attending a black college in Delaware. Did he actually say that? Because the black college came out, I read this morning, and said that he never attended.
Right, but he said he did.
He did.
Okay.
He said he was like first in his class. Come out, he was last in his class.
Yeah, that's what made him step down from running for office for president.
Well, maybe he went there when he was a young slave on the plantation. I don't know.
Maybe possible. But his gaffes are the least of his worries right now. He just needs to be coherent, needs to be alive. The ladies that my sister worked with and the teachers, they're all voting out of hate. That's the only reason why they're voting Biden. They're voting because Orange Man bad and all the hate inside their heart.
Mm-hmm. I think that Biden is going to focus on, and he's going to repeat a lot tomorrow night, 200,000 dead on your watch. You messed up the coronavirus. I think he's going to do that. And Trump needs to say to him, look, this was China. Why can't you just admit that this virus came from China? It started in China. They didn't warn us, and it got here. And Trump needs to stick his ground on that instead of defending, how many people didn't die. No, you need to start blaming exactly who is the reason and why this is happening.
Yeah. And then that's going to get into China, and Trump is going to be like, all this stuff didn't start until I start putting tariffs on China. And then Biden's going to be like, well, China's not the boogeyman. They're not even important. So then, that's going to get into that too. So
I agree.
Biden said he was able to sequester in his basement because all right. Okay.
But again, he spent 40% of September in his basement just so that way he could prepare for tomorrow night. And that scares me because if he would become president and has to pull an all-nighter for 3 straight days in a row, how's he going to do that? Let's just call a spade a spade here. Joe Biden's not going to be the president. It's going to be Kamala. And that is what you have. Someone who's unexperienced and who really is unhinged.
Right. He even said that on day one, Kamala Harris is ready to take the office. No problem. Yeah. And yes, JK, Donald Trump demanded a drug test. I'll take one too. Joe, take one before, after, whenever.
Joe said, nope.
Nope. No dice.
I got a problem with Chuck Schumer using RGB in this way. He said that she was turning over in her grave over the Amy Coleman Barrett nomination. And, I was like, wait a minute. Now, when he said it, it was Saturday night. Yeah, Saturday night. I was like, is she even in the ground yet?
No, I don't think so. She's still laying in state.
That's what I thought. So how's she turning over in her grave already?
I can tell you one thing. If I would have heard him say that and I was there, I would have said to him, you know what she's probably turning over in her grave? The millions of children that she's aborted and now seeing in heaven.
Yeah.
How about that one?
Witnessing all those aborted souls.
Yeah. All those aborted souls.
You want to know what I would have said?
And we need Americans to
Stop lying to the people. Jesus saves. Jesus saves. Stop lying to the people. Jesus loves you guys.
Thank you.
That was you. That's exactly what you said.
You guys overlooked the guy at the very beginning. That's the one I like. You ain't doing it for the people. I'm telling you. That's my man. Oh boy.
You know what? Let me also say that I wanted to put this out there. WayneDupree.com. WayneDupree.com now has a premium subscription service. A lot of people, and believe me, a lot of people over the last couple months have sent me emails about the ads that are on the website. And I was like, we're going to have a subscription service coming up. So now you have a chance to see 0 ads, period. No ads on the website. There are two premium slots. One is premium, one is premium plus. So there it is for you. If you would like to help contribute to help us keep our conservative voice online with our opinions and news, there you go. And believe me, people are like, I would give if there was a place to give. Well, now there's a place to give. There's a place to give. So, you know, I used to be like, you know, I understand your problem. You know, I understand your problem, but we have writers, and writers need to eat. We need to, you know, we got radio shows to do. We got other stuff we got to do. Oh, and for all of you Patreon members out there, I'm going to talk to my web guy. We're going to see if we can grandfather you in that way. And if we can't, just move your Patreon over to the website. So you're also getting news and you're still helping our work. Okay. So
cool.
I'm going to check that out and let you know that before the end of the week. But don't leave Patreon yet. Okay. Don't leave Patreon just yet. But we might be able to grandfather you in so that you're also getting the website with no ads since you're already given. Okay. But yeah, I mean, believe me, a lot of people, and look, I've been on websites too that have ads, and I know that they can be too much. But when you aren't, when you don't have a major network promoting you, or when you or organization or a GoFundMe that collects $20,000 every month to take care of your staff and to take care of your bills and stuff, you can't just do it on
nothing.
Nothing, right?
Yeah.
You have to do it on something. And over the last couple of months, I say since June we had 8 million page views. In July, we had 15 million plus page views.
Wow.
In August, we had another 8 million page views. That's just us sharing what's going on. That's not major network sharing what we got. That's us. And that's y'all visiting and sharing. So, you know, we look toward y'all for our lifeline. That's just how that is. Most of the people really aren't going to be talking about this, but we are who we are. Brad Parscale was hospitalized following an incident at his home. He was a Trump campaign manager, and he got moved back down to the data side. We're praying for him and the situation. We're not going to go into that, but we're addressing it, but we're not going to go into it because it's a family situation.
Yeah,
praying for the family.
Yeah.
Right. Praying for the family and the friends and everybody affected. Absolutely. Yeah. God bless.
Yeah, I don't, you know, we're not going to be hypocrites and say, or just turn our eyes to it. No, something happened and let things play out.
We're all flawed.
You know,
we're all flawed human beings.
Yeah, but you know, we're throwing up our prayers for him and everything like that. Something happened in Pennsylvania, and I know Leah's going to smile about this. And on Saturday night, President Trump got a great endorsement by the police on Thursday night, and kind of thought this was good to share.
You, sir, have never turned your back on America's law enforcement. Well, sir, I am here to tell you that on behalf of America's largest law enforcement organization, rank and file police organization, we give you our unanimous and enthusiastic endorsement, and we will not turn our back on you.
When you have the police department, the state police, all the police in America backing you, you know who you need to pick for president.
There you go.
Honestly, nothing else matters. Your safety is literally the most important thing. You can have all the money in the world and not be safe. You can be the healthiest person in the world, but if you do not have safety, you're dead. You're gone. Who are you going to call? And I'm serious. I'm not making a joke like Ghostbusters. I mean, really, who are you going to call? You can't. How can you vote anyone else that is voting against the police? When they say defund the police, what they're saying is, we don't care if you're safe. We don't care if there's terrorism. We don't care if there's homegrown terrorism. We don't care about you. But yet they're protecting themselves with security. Done with it. I'm just shocked. I really am just shocked at the Democrat Party at this point.
Yeah,
I can't even hold back. I can't.
They just don't understand. Oh no, and honestly, we can continue to say that they're stupid and that they don't understand, and that's where I was going to go. But no, it's not true. They know where they're going. It's just that they don't care.
Right? No, they don't care at all.
You know what I'm saying? They don't care as long as they are in power. Power is the number one thing that he who wields the hammer, Thor's hammer, or he that pulls the sword from the stone. If they are in power, then they can really do anything they want to. And right now they are a wounded dog. They were wounded when President Trump won the White House in 2016. But right now, I mean, they have almost bled out. Tell you the truth, they're almost bled out. When Barrett gets put on the Supreme Court, they're on life support. The liberal agenda is on life support.
That's the final blow. It really is.
Okay, because I don't see anybody that is that old that's going to be leaving anytime soon. And if there is one old person up there that's thinking about leaving, and Trump,
Trump still
gets reelected.
Yeah,
he gets another one.
The prophecies tell me there's one more to come.
His legacy is.
I'm just saying.
That's what his legacy will be, the Supreme Court.
And changing the Supreme Court to what it was originally meant for is a constitutionalist Supreme Court, not interpretist judges.
Yeah.
Right. And I think it's interesting if we learn anything from this year, we've learned that the Democrats will try to get your vote and lie to you no matter what. They'll say defund the police. They'll grab onto that. And then when you don't like it and there's pushback, they'll say, oh, no, we just meant redirect funds. And then they'll say, well, we're going to raise taxes a little bit. Now you don't like it? Oh, no, we won't do that. Fracking, terrible thing. Oh, you don't like that? Okay, fracking, good now. So they're just telling you what you want to hear. At least with the Republican Party, the conservatives, they're not always going to tell you what you want to hear.
Well, Trump.
You would hope.
That's fine. That's fine, Brian. That's who I'm talking about.
Trump's the only politician I have seen in my entire lifetime that says one thing and does what he says.
Let's hope he sets the stages for the other politicians.
Please do, absolutely. Hopefully that they'll learn, take a page from his book, and realize that, you know what, the people really want you to do your job. Hashtag do your job.
Hashtag do your job. But I'll tell you, it's going to hurt Joe tomorrow night if he says, I'm going to put everybody in masks and I'm going to lock it down again, because he keeps saying that and he's sticking to it.
Yeah,
and
Trump, all Trump's got to do is bring that up.
Exactly. Right. That's all Trump has to do is bring it up. And we're like, so what differently would you have done?
Oh, no. And then when he says what he would have done, then Trump goes, I did that.
Right,
exactly.
Or if Biden decides to change up there on, I wouldn't support national mandate, but you did, Joe.
But you did. And he's going to say, do you remember, Joe, when you said it was xenophobia whenever I shut down the borders? Do you remember that? And isn't it interesting that Nancy Pelosi secretly went in and deleted on Twitter her Chinatown, encouraging people to go to Chinatown? Do y'all notice that? She deleted it.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Almost like that hypocrisy is almost like this.
Yeah, but I'm wondering, Reverend Al, if you are a construction worker in Philly, if you're a waitress in Lancaster County, if you're a school teacher in Scranton, and you're looking up at the news today and you're finding out that you've paid more in federal income taxes than a guy that's lived in a gold-plated, 90-story building and flown around in private jets and flown around the world and probably illegally deducted taxes. Not a really great message for the final month or so of the campaign. I mean, that is something that voters can understand. A guy working at Walmart said, wait a second, I paid more than $750 a year in taxes this past year. And look at all those years that people like Trump and Amazon paid zero in income taxes. It's just not right. That's, again, for a guy that's already really struggling with working class voters, the timing of this piece is just, I would think, would be pretty negative for Donald Trump.
The timing would be pretty negative, clearly, and I think it speaks to the core of what the problem politically is going to be for the president. This was his brand. He sold himself to Americans as this successful businessman.
Tawana Brawley, anyone? Tawana Brawley, anyone? Accused a white man of raping a black woman in Central Park.
Right?
He owed millions of dollars because the white guy sued him and won in court because he wrongly accused him of raping a black woman.
Are you talking about Al Sharpton?
Al Sharpton owed him millions and millions of dollars for wrongfully accusing him. And when he ran for president, his people passed around a hat to pay that off because you couldn't have that hanging over your head.
He owes back taxes, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he does.
Not that, but the guy that wrote the article, the hit piece in the New York Times, there's a huge list about all the problems this guy has in his life, where he's being evicted from his home. He owes money on credit cards, bank liens, all kinds of. That's the guy that wrote this hit piece on Trump.
Well, I mean, my thing is in the video, you're going to Al for expert opinion.
And you should be naming Al as one of those people. Like he said, Amazon, Trump, Al Sharpton. You should have said
right. I mean, or listen to what he said. Well, you know, somebody flying around in a private jet or doing. Al flies around in a private jet.
Yes.
Terrible.
Absolutely.
Terrible.
No, but he said you're working at Walmart. If you're working at Walmart, you ain't paying taxes. You are not. They take it out of your check, but at every end of the year, you get a tax return. Don't tell me you work at Walmart and you pay taxes. You don't make enough money there. There's no way. If you made $40,000 at Walmart.
Just watching that expertness.
It's so embarrassing.
Hypocrisy. Hypocrisy knows no bounds.
Honestly, and I want to talk to the Trump supporter, the Trump voter who went yesterday and said, he only paid $750. I'm not voting for him. Joe's got my vote. Please tell me if you're out there. Right. One Trump supporter in the entire United States of America. Did this change your mind at all? I don't think so. Because we've been there and done that in 2016. Hillary said, you didn't pay your taxes. He said, well, that's because of Obama's tax laws. I was smart. I took advantage of the system.
He did say that.
Yeah, he did. And that's smart.
Right. He said Amazon didn't pay taxes. Amazon didn't pay taxes. Well, again, my story about Walt Disney, $300 million profit. They paid off a $300 million debt, filed their taxes, paid no taxes, then went and borrowed the $300 million back as if it never happened. Brian, but that's not legal. Sorry. That is legal.
I hope when Joe brings this up tomorrow night, he has a laundry list of every place that he donated his White House paycheck, his presidential paycheck to every single month for the last 4 years.
Hold on, wait. My nephew's in the room, and he's going back to something that I said earlier about Biden's gas. because of the way that y'all were saying this is not going to hurt Trump with, and
so the gaffes don't. Well, I'm not saying that
not.
the gaffes hurt Joe. I'm not. We use them to play,
right?
And it confirms to me that yes, he is a gaffe machine, and he's got a lot of problems. That confirms to me, and it confirms to my friends that are already voting Trump. Yep, that's why we're on Trump.
Right.
Independent voters.
You don't know.
I don't know. Maybe.
And how many and how many independent voters are out there to really make because honestly, that's who decides the election. The independent voters right now. So and I mean honestly, I really don't know who would poll him because I don't trust the devil media to poll him, and I really don't trust Fox News to poll him. So I don't know who would poll him, but to say that you ain't black is gonna swing, and I'm not saying you said that it was gonna swing the election, right. But to say, if anybody was out there saying that this was gonna swing people to Trump in a huge way, I don't think so. Because if I've been to some of these boards, some of these urban boards, and they just don't like Joe. But they don't like Trump either. And a whole lot of them are going to stay home. But
the turnout. The turnout's going to be low. Turnout's going to be. There's no enthusiasm over there other than if you count hate as like venomous hate and anger.
Yeah.
Other than that, there's no enthusiasm for Joe.
But I will concede that that Trump could get between 8 and 12%. Okay. How's that?
There's no enthusiasm for Joe because no one's voting for Joe. They're voting for Trump or against Trump. That's the only right. You're either voting for Trump or you're voting against Trump. No one is actually voting for Joe.
Yeah, I mean, if you listen to Steve Harvey, he really doesn't tell you what Joe Biden is a reason why to vote for Joe Biden.
Because there isn't any.
Right. If you listen to Steve I've been listening to, and I know he's listening, or I know he knows that I'm copying stuff. I'm copying his words because he didn't mention me, but he was like, some people online. Yeah, okay. Some people are online and they just don't understand that we're in a fight for our life and we built this country and this is our country, it's not their country.
Whoa. What?
Yeah, he says that.
What? He's got something wrong.
There was some more stuff that I was gonna wait. I think I shared that with y'all, but I didn't share it publicly because I knew that if I shared what I shared with y'all in the text, if I knew if I had shared that publicly, that people were gonna beat me up on it. And it was because of wait a minute. Leah, am I still echoing?
No.
Okay. I was looking at the text.
That's an old text.
Super old text.
No, but yeah, he really went off on that one. He did. And I was like, oh damn. I mean, he's really putting it out there like that,
So then let me ask you a question. If you guys say that Biden wasn't hurt by the "you ain't black" because nobody cares, and Trump wasn't hurt by the tax return because nobody cares, then how do they get hurt?
In today's world?
No, I'm just saying in general. Give me an example of how Biden is going to lose voters, since that doesn't lose voters. The "you ain't black" doesn't lose voters. What would make him lose voters?
At this point,
hatred against both sides, I guess.
Hatred against both sides.
I mean,
well, give me something here.
Yeah, I mean,
if you're a Democrat and you are enraged with hate and anger and you hate Orange Man bad, and now all of a sudden you see Joe Biden and you ain't black, it doesn't bother me. He shouldn't have said that. And then you see Joe Biden stagger and stumble. And then you hear Nancy say, we're winning, we're doing this. And then Maxine pushing back. And all of a sudden you're angry. And now you find yourself angry at the Democrats. And so you're angry at all of it. You do what Wayne said. You go home, you walk away, you sit down. You don't even vote.
Okay. So you're saying,
I don't know.
Joe, I just want to hold on to one thing on why voters would not vote Joe, that we're going to vote Joe. What would sway them to not vote Joe anymore and go to Trump? That's what I'm asking.
Okay. How's this? If President Trump can get it off tomorrow night during the event and make Joe come out and say that he's going to raise taxes.
Yeah. Yeah.
My point is, no one's voting for Joe. So there is no answer. Joe can do anything he wants. They're voting against Trump.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
yes.
Do you see what I'm saying? It took you guys how long to try to figure out a reason why a Democrat would switch over to Trump? There isn't one. Yeah. It doesn't matter. The debates are just going to be what they are. They're debates for us to watch and make fun of on both sides. Because if you've already decided you're voting Joe, you're voting Joe. And if you've already decided you're voting Trump, you're voting Trump. And for those in the middle, what's it going to take? I mean, yeah, Trump can talk about his good record, what he's done, his law and order, how he stays true to the Constitution. Joe's going to talk about how 200,000 are dead. And I don't know what else Joe can run on other than that.
Nothing.
But
really, I can't.
That's what I was saying at the beginning. His gaffes just show. I mean, he's been gaffing for years, and he became vice president.
I'm just saying, if I'm an independent and I see all these things that he says, I'm concerned about what he can and can't do in the White House if he's able to. And that's what scares me. It's maybe not
if you were a woke independent, right?
Correct.
Okay,
correct.
right.
If I was an independent and I consider myself that I if I would be, I would do my research. Right. Someone said somewhere, hey, if Joe Biden was a pilot, would you get on his plane and let him fly it?
Hell
no. So you have to ask yourself, do you really want him running the country? So that's why I said all of his gaffes add up to this big scary thing. That's what I meant.
But then,
you let him
but then how many independents are tired? Think about it now. Okay, fine. I understand your point now. Let's turn it around. Think of how many independents are tired of all of the controversy and all of the lies and all of the stuff that is being thrown against this president.
The anger.
Would you be tired of that?
The violence.
You know what? We just need a new direction. You know?
I would be more exhausted over the riots.
Yeah,
and I would not want the riots. So therefore, I would want Trump in because Joe.
But what if the riots
weren't the police?
But what if the riots weren't bothering you? What if the riots weren't even in your area? And because for me, I don't have any riots in my.
Only time I see the riots is when someone puts a video on.
Yeah. I mean, I see it on there, and the only thing I'm saying is like, damn, y'all. Okay.
Y'all suck.
So you're telling me it didn't cross either one of your minds? What if the riots come near your city? Not saying it did. So not one time you didn't think, oh, what would I do if the riots came here? Did you ever think that?
I did this weekend.
Yeah, you did. I've heard you talk about it. I've heard you say, well, if the riots come to my city, no, but you have said on the show, if the riots ever come to my city, I know what I'm going to be doing.
I thought about it this weekend because I had a conversation with my cop friend. He said that the mayor of Cincinnati.
You said you'd come to my house.
Is contemplating.
That's what you said.
No,
so I'm saying independent voters are concerned.
I said that I would come to your house because you got Fort Dix up there, and I would come and be safe.
Right.
Or,
but what I'm saying is independent voters, all of them have thought about what happens if the riots come to my city. At least one time they've mentally prepared themselves for it.
I mean, well, everybody don't have Fort Sumter like you do. I mean, you got.
Right. But I'm saying that's influencing independence. They don't want riots.
But I'm not independent though.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
So it don't matter.
No. But you had said that independents, maybe independent people care about the rioting. And I'm saying everybody has thought at least once about the rioting. So, and obviously they don't want it.
I don't know. I'm not saying that they haven't thought about it. It's just that if it's not bothering them, it's not bothering them. So you aren't going to be like, oh, well, whatever. I'm not in this area.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, you lose anyway. So you lost.
I don't think I did. I'm saying I think everybody is bothered by the riots. Everybody's bothered by the riots. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, bet. In the chat room, YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, all of you, Cloud Hub, Parler, are you bothered by the riots? Well,
do they bother you?
That's not even because
do the riots make you want to vote in a certain way?
No.
Do the riots affect your voting?
I mean, aren't you concerned that the riots will come to your home? Absolutely. That's why he's winning. That's why Trump's winning over the suburban women vote.
You know, it's funny. It's funny because I saw this stupid article today that said that that Biden was winning the suburban thing. The same thing that you said last week.
Mm-hmm. And Biden saying that? Wow. Isn't that a shame? They just say what they think that people want to hear.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want the riots coming here. And I know that if we defund the police, we're not going to have any protection.
But do you think that the riots are going to leave the city and come to the mountains?
They could.
Somebody posted.
If there's no police, why not?
Somebody posted.
We never
Joe
thought
Biden
that
2021.
Oh, geez, that's funny.
Joe Biden 2021. Oh, that's savage. Savage.
Patty said, I think the people are tired of rioting and that they're hurting the Democrats. But Patty, are you an independent? Maybe y'all should have asked that question because I'm sure a lot of people in here are Trump supporters. So, you know.
I just think that any independent voter is going to say, yeah, I don't like the riots or I am concerned about them. I mean, how are you not human?
And you have to go on the other side and say, okay, because they are independent, you would think that they would think both sides and they were, okay, well, I don't like all these riots, but I don't like all the controversy and stuff that's happening on the Trump side, and I'm just sick of it.
Brittany Dash on Periscope said that she did not vote for Trump in 2016. She is registered independent and is voting Trump this time around.
It's awesome.
Now, I've seen a lot of that. More than I have Biden. You know, but it's not based on the riots. It's based on what he has done in office.
He's got a record.
Him able to blind out the crap that the media has been doing. Especially now, okay, 94% negativity reporting. You keep on pumping that out and showing how biased one-sided the media. That's a great reason to say, you know what, y'all haven't really given him a chance. Ever since he's been in office, y'all been reporting negative on him, but he's still doing the work. He's still doing things. And y'all keep so there's something out there that you don't want us to know. So yeah, we're going to support the same thing that happened in 2016 when they turned negative on him. Don't go to Trump rally. Guess what? We're going to a Trump rally. Or stay away from the Trump rally. There's too many racists. Really?
They got the KKK over there.
And then
there's going to be war in the Middle East. He's going to start a war.
Really?
It's going to be in World War III.
Let me see.
53% approval rating with the Rasmussen polls. It's his highest yet.
Wow.
I do know this for a fact about Obama, and then we'll let everybody go. As many times as they took polls, Obama never got under 42 or 41%.
Right. It's unbelievable.
And I was like, even when the Benghazi stuff happened, he wouldn't go under 40. I was like, that's some bull crap right there. That's some bull, man. I mean, y'all just don't want him to be in the 30s and 20s. So, but they kept saying, oh, he's at the low. Yeah, okay, whatever. Oh, let's see. Wayne, you need to stop using your platform to piggyback this James O'Keefe guy. He's been sued more times than
No, hey, back off, dude. James is a good guy. He's a friend of mine. You don't know what you're talking about.
Project Veritas. One of my writers put out the story about the ballot harvesting, the one that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Let me put this out there, and y'all can tweet this out if you want, or you can post it on Facebook if you want to. I rarely write any stories on my website anymore. I rarely write any stories on my website.
You're a busy man.
I focus on the show. I focus on putting op-eds out there on other websites because I'm trying to have people see more about what my opinion is. That's why I brought these two wonderful people on, because they think along. Well, they don't think along everything that I think, because we do have some differences, but we're in the same direction, in the same boat, going to the same place.
Right.
I don't write that much on my website. So when people put that stuff like this guy, Wayne, you need to stop using your platform to piggyback on you. I didn't write that. My website is in capable hands of people that know and that are watching the news.
Right, and doing the research.
And they're doing the research. My writer says Project Veritas went undercover in Minneapolis, and you won't believe what ballot harvesting fraud they claim to have uncovered. And now folks have questions for Ilhan Omar. There's nothing wrong with that.
What's wrong with that? There ain't
There's
nothing wrong with that
with
at all. What, we're not allowed to ask questions?
It's because it's on it makes Omar look bad.
If James in the past filed bankruptcy, if James in the past had any kind of financial issues and whatnot, who the hell hasn't?
There's too many headline jumper readers on social media. Y'all don't go and see who write the story. I got an email over the weekend that somebody took the time out to go to my website and call me the N-word oh, you're a good Trump loving N-word. Keep up the good work, boy, MAGA. Freddie Johnson.
I mean, how pathetic does your life have to be if you have to take a time out of your day just to harass somebody else like that?
This is MAGA country up in Chicago. I'm in Chicago. This is MAGA country. Come on. What are we doing? Really? Wow.
Yeah, that's lib.
And I didn't put that on social media, but that's the stuff I get all the time. I think that's why when I talked to Leah and Brian, they were like, "What you doing?" Oh, I'm just sitting looking at the wall. How many times do I say that? Oh, I'm just
all
sitting
the time.
Yeah. Because the stuff that comes across, man, you would not believe. Telling me what to do with myself, telling me how to do it,
where to do it,
stuff. And on top of that, I'm not even writing. I'm not even writing. Y'all are pissed off because somebody's calling out the other side on the stuff, and you get mad at me. Whatever, I take it. We're gonna be tomorrow night. We're going to be, yeah. I know.
7 p.m. and the debate starts at 9. So it's gonna go for 90 minutes. I just saw that too.
Be quiet, Brian. I'm all right. Tomorrow night. Okay. Tomorrow night. Make sure you're in the place. With that said, we're getting ready to roll out of here. So don't forget to check out WayneDupree.com. No ads, 0 ads. If that's what you want, you're tired of an ad, you want to go there, please go and subscribe. And again, for all of you Patreon members, hold off until the end of the week. I'm going to try to grandfather you in, and then we'll do it like that. So with that said, any last words, Leah, Brian?
Yeah, look, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but it is kind of weird
Oh,
that Tom Hanks deleted all of his tweets up until 2013. They're all gone. His last tweet was 2013. Now I checked this 2 weeks ago, and then he moved to Greece. I'm just saying it's weird, okay? If I would just pick up and move out of the country and delete all my tweets to 2013, surely someone would think that was weird. I mean, he paid someone, and it like took hours to do, but he deleted everything. The last thing you see is 2013. It's just weird. That's all I'm saying. I mean, who does that?
Brian.
Sickos.
Brian.
Yeah, we got to protect our children. Got to think about the children. And that's what Donald Trump is doing with this nomination of ACB. And no, I don't care that RGB, that they coined the name or the term RGB. And now the Republicans are calling our nomination ACB. Who cares? It's all good. Have fun with it. Live life.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are rolling out here. We'll see you tomorrow at noon, but we will be probably, we'll see you tomorrow at noon, but we definitely will be here tomorrow night. All right, God bless.